Hi, hello, and welcome to episode 3 of my Citizen Sleeper Let's Play. In the last episode we did, I think, cycles 2 through 4, so this is going to start cycle 5. In the last episode we met Feng and a few other folks. We also met the hunter, and we are being chased by something that also isn't the hunter. There's someone else hunting us too, so that's cool. Love to be on the run as a robot. Not even a robot. How a sleeper is a synthetic organic fusion of, you know what, let's just play the game. We're on cycle 5 because you have to start from the night before. All right, yeah, what were we? So we have to end the cycle, which is just getting us to cycle 5. All right, we have all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our dice because we are stable because we just got our stabilizer for 100 cryo last episode, which it's so pricey. All right, we're gonna leave. We're also hunted. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more cycles till somebody comes and finds us. That's not great. Resolve that. Oh, I guess we can meet Feng now. We also can help out Dragos. Dragos's nerve is also kind of going out a little bit. He seems increasingly nervous about our presence, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 more cycles for that. So we're still trying to figure out what this Winterlight wreckage is. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in some dice because it's a safe action. So if I mess it up, it won't be too bad. My dice weren't super great this go around. Oh no, neutral outcome is fine. Do 2. No. Maybe I shouldn't have gambled a 3 twice in a row. Alright, well, that's a bust. Let's see. We have 32 cryo, which isn't terrible. Let's go talk to Feng and see what Feng wants. Sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way, security and all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng outside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? It's a mess, it's incredible, or what is all this? I'm gonna say it's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. I don't know what that symbol means, I'm sorry. It's not an A. I don't... Yep, it's from the original. You know, the one that Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. Again, I'm going to talk about the writing on this a little bit. The system is in constant flux, decaying and growing, and then collapsing into new configurations. That alliteration there, or that alliteration, or it is alliteration. I'm a professional, I swear. I just have ADHD and anxiety, and in the moment I lose all my words. So, but that flow of like the consonants, the starting of like collapsing into new configurations flows, and it gives it this like weight, and imagery is very vivid thought in your mind, this image in your brain, and that's really, I don't know, the writing in this case is just very good. I will say that a ton, over and over again, every episode. I always kind of, every time I play Citizen Sleeper, I kind of dissect the dialogue and kind of see what I like about it and why I keep continually being drawn back to it. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I'm gonna say I can. I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. So, like I said earlier, like, what is a sleeper? It's got organic and synthetic components. You're a computer, you're like a robot, kind of. But you also have organic components and are still very human. I think your brain still very much has a lot of brainy neurological neuron synapses. I'm so bad at this. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Feng notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They are tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets, Sleeper. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. Like, ghost limbs, that, like, just the remaining old vestiges of the corporate shit that created it. And, like, just that imagery of just, like, break it free and, like, I just like it. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those old, bad days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Feng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Feng passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift. He smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the node inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step back, blinking out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Alright, so we have a new drive. Feng might actually solve our being hunted problem. So if we can basically lose the person tracking us before they find us, we might work out. This might work out. So to disable our tracker, Feng says he will disable your SNRP tracker if he can get to the bottom of his mystery first. So we have to help Feng with his lead before he will help us with his tracker, such as the way of things around here, I guess. Do I have data? I do have data already. Oh, I love that. No? Is this not the data? Deliver data. I guess that's not. Okay. Leave. Go here. I'm not quite sure. Oh, Solheim Gate. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, we can slot our Solheim cipher here, start the action. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim grant. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. Okay. So now we've unlocked all of these nodes. Go ahead and get some. So we have some data. I don't know that I can get all of these right now, but I can get 2 of them. Alright. Data extracted, we can leave. The hunter is getting close, but he's not on us yet. So let's go ahead and give this back to Feng. Yeah, takey. So we have to do a couple of specifically Solheim data stuff first. So we can't finish this one today in this cycle. But we can... Let's see what we can do. I guess we can help Dragos. I'll do another one. I'll do this one because it's 100% positive. I still want to salvage that. Yeah, scrap item. Oh, heck yeah. What did we get? Oh, I got a whole ship mine fragment from that. I love that for me. Okay. We have nothing left. I think we can put off food. Oh wait, scrap freighter. What's this? Oh, buy some scrap? No, I don't want to buy it. Oh no, I don't have any... I don't have any more dice for this. Sorry. And it leaves in like 2 cycles. 3 cycles? So that's unfortunate for me, but that's okay. We'll check it next cycle and see what we get. Let's see what the bar has for me. Well, I'll be a fungus fan one more time because I think Emphis has 1 more on that. Yeah, or 2 more. Go ahead and buy that. Get some food so our energy is topped off. Alright. We'll end the cycle. Go to cycle 6. And what's nice is since we're still stable, we'll have all 5 of our dice. I believe, yeah, 5. So that'll be nice. Also, these dice look like they were better dice than the last ones. So that'll be better for me. Let's see how this goes. All right. Let's do Dragos' yard again. I've got this one. Let's just do the 100% positive on it. I think it gives me 2. Yeah. Not sure which we should be doing first here. Like if we should be just clearing it or if I should be searching it. Like I've kind of put a lot into the searching it, but like I wonder if Dragos would let me stick around if I just broke it down and didn't ask any questions. Now I'm torn. I could probably finish it with that 5 dice that I have. I don't know. Maybe I guess we'll just do the forensic trawl and see what happens. Ooh. Oh, that didn't finish it. Dang. But I did get a scrap item again, which is good. We'll save the rest for later. What if I need another Solheim node? Oh. I guess it's a good thing I have that. Extract data, and I got some cryo out of that, so I love that for me. Unfortunately, Hunter is gonna be on us. The next one. What could go wrong here? I'm sure it's fine. Oh, okay, good. It's to the end of the bar, not the middle. I thought maybe as it was crossing over the eye, that would mean that Hunter comes and gets us. But we have 2 more nodes before Hunter finds us again. That's okay. We just won't do any more of that for a minute. Let me deliver the data. Here's data. Take a data. Not to be confused with data from the next generation. Don't take that data. That's a good data. Alright. Maybe Feng will want to speak to me now? Yeah. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads. Fong's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. Ah, these snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Sleeper. Fong's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I have been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. I see Fong has not kept up with his cable management. Fong is sat in the front of a set of monitors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fong waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with the pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Fong laughs. Maybe not all of them. But what kind of shitheads? Havenage? Not quite. He taps on the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, Solheim, but... He leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with the finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Who's Hardin? That, Fong says, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out behind him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fong leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fong leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fong raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in from Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fong turned back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air, and slept in Solheim beds. Fong's voice raises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work they paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot money can get you if you are a company man. Fong relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we are going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fong brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fong zooms in on the far yards. He grimaces. Thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fong holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. Call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. He grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. If you can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port, you never even need to go near the shipyards. So, what do you say? Up for it? What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information. I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Fong scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fong digging through the data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pocket. It's an idea you're intimately familiar with. So this is basically like if, I don't know, a certain corporation that starts with A and ends with Mazon made a space station for their own profits and got super cheap labor because people were hoping that their contracts might pay out, so they move their entire life over to the station, and then they find out that that's actually not at all how that's going to work because there's a lot of undercutting and like just a lot of shittiness. So then you end up basically with just free or very cheap labor and a bunch of poverty, and this is not even like a weird situation. This is something that happens all the time because capitalism is hell. It's just in this setting we can actually talk about it and yell about it in a more distant way because it's set on a space station, it's in space, but this is very much something that exists and is real and is a real problem. So I kind of like that, you know, this is forcing you to look at that, and it's forcing you to like, hey, you've been in a situation like this, or you know somebody who can't quit their job. And there have been talks of like company towns coming back. Like, you know, there's so many big corporations. Like, what if we could just get everyone to come work in one place and then we could get tax write-offs and blah, blah, blah. So like all of this isn't even that weird. It's just, it seems outlandish because it's set on a space station. But the rest of this is just capitalism. I hate it. Which is a sign of good writing because like you're just like, ugh, yeah, no, I'm intimately familiar with this feeling. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Deep question. I think I'm gonna do a shift. I know this is just a 1. This may be bad, but we're gonna do it. It's fine. Rip. It didn't even give me a good service thing. Oh, I forgot about the, welcome to Val has ADHD. But I have almost enough for more stabilizer, so there's that. And, I'm gonna buy this for the fungus fan. Thankfully, all we lost was energy there. Okay, so that's all. Oh, wait. We can totally talk to Emphis. Let's go. Sleeper. Emphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphis. You look at him, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphis, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray, skeletal after-images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all. It's some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphis finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphis passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty market, but my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think, a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap, in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphis begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphis. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphis slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphis's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think? A trade that seems more than fair. I think Emphis is kind of cool. I like his whole very no-nonsense demeanor, and that's also something, again, I need a counter for how many times I say the writing in this game is so good, but every character talks differently, even though a lot of them tend to wax on about, like, the concepts of the game. They all do it in their specific voice. Like Feng, for example, is a little bit younger, a little brash, a little more irreverent. Emphis is very direct. He makes very simple and short statements unless it's for dramatic effect. Some of his sentences are a little bit longer, and that just kind of reinforces what he's telling you is something you should be listening to. Sabine is very clinical. They don't mince their words, but also they do tend to be very much a doctor about things and want to over-explain things to you, paradoxically. They're very reserved, but they're also a medical expert, so they want to explain their process. And then Tala is a barkeeper, and in her very kind of more straightforward nature and like kind, but like won't tolerate your shit energy very much shines through. So like if you can create characters that have that their own personality, like I can sit here and think about how these characters speak and talk, you've done something right. Like good job. So I think that's everything for this cycle. I think we have enough time for one more pending, so let's see what we can get through. All right, we have 4 more days before whoever's hunting us finds us, so that's not great. I think we need to find some Havenage leads, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have a Havenage cipher. Wrong button, sorry. Let me go back here and see what I gotta do. I don't remember what he said. Oh, maybe we'll do this real quick, actually. Hold on. Let me put some shit in here. Oh, this might be bad. This is a little bit of a gamble. Oh, thank God. Okay, just 15 cryo. That's okay. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be putting this Ripper Worm, honestly. Maybe over here? No, it's a yacht again. Keynote. Maybe this one? Keynote? No. Hmm. Hmm. I don't have a Havenage cipher. Hmm. Oh, maybe the Havenage agent. Extract data. Did that work? Oh, it did work. Okay, cool. That's how we get that data. We go in here, put that here. Oh, yeah. And then that opens this up. We can put the Ripper Worm in here. Let's go. Now what? Is that it? Did I do it? Okay, I did. Ripper Worm is installed, but it'll take a few cycles. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3. It'll take 3 cycles, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? There's like 1 cycle of wiggle room and I have fear. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. Well, let's see if I can get something from Dragos. I am still a little bit afraid of the winter late thing. Yeah, maybe I should just salvage it instead of not. Then maybe Dragos won't lose his nerve. I don't know. I think I want to know the answers too much. We're going to start the action. I was so indecisive about this one. Alright, we did it. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the middle desk. Your makeshift my brain. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos' old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drones scanned fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it is almost transparent. Get the printout. The plain list shows the registration history of the Winterlight, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winterlight got little rest. Look at the slate. I guess we're going bottom to top. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the Winterlight before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy. A lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. Ooh. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change. But they are there. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. This is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winterlight. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose, radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach, a well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hole and allow access to the airlock from outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained, a reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winterlight, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winterlight had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armored, airwalled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you don't recognize, some of it you don't. Some of it you recognize and some of it you don't. Ship mine ROMs, shimmer, cryo chain codes, and then the final entry, passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winterlight, a smuggler's ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essenarp? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you could find in their apartment? Oh, heck yeah, we found some stabilizer, though? Give me that for free? Thank you. This was all you could find in their compartment. A parting gift from Essenarp. The pill won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard? 2. One after the other. Feels wrong. You flick back and forth between datasets in the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winterlight with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Dragos stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What's all this? He snatches the slate from the desk faster than you realize he can move. You running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Are you hiding something? Or where is this ship from? Ooh, where is this ship from? Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. Who's bringing you these ships? Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. Why are you asking? You looking to get us both killed? We cut these things up. That's our part. Their part is something I don't want to know. Dragos seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me, no. I know. He softens. Look, you've helped me too. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with the ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after. You can't work here anymore. I need the work. There's plenty of work to be had in the eye. Salvagers need offloads in Rotunda, and Yachtigan are always looking for crew. I'm not the only show in town. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on. What if they come for me? Then you run. You don't come here. You don't scream. You don't shout. You run. In the dark, Dragos' headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winterlight, and whether or not that person will come for you. Oh man, see, that's what I was afraid of. We leveled up, but now Dragos just doesn't want anything to do with us anymore, and I actually feel really bad about that because he is right. He could have just turned us in, but he didn't. But does that make him a kind person because he's not asking any questions? He's just letting these people, you know, basically we're covering up someone's hit job of a sleeper. They blew up a whole ship to get to a sleeper, and we're chopping up the evidence so no one could ever find it. And Dragos is content to just do that because that's what you got to do to get by. And is that okay? Do you just kind of, okay, like, sure, if that's what you got to do to live, you know, that it's just such a weighty thing. Part of me almost wants to see if I could just go, can I just scum save it? Hold on, can I just scum save? What's a menu? I just want to see what happens if I continue. Did it save before I did all that? Does it go by cycle? I think it did. Yeah. Way to make sure my bad life choices are immortalized. Alright. Shit. Okay. Well. Rip to Dragos. I'm sure you're not terrible in other timelines. I actually don't know what happens if you choose to just not do that investigation. I always have picked that investigation. I kind of forgot. So I don't even know. We tried. We have upgrades available. We have chance to gain cryo and interface. No, hold on. Chance to gain random scrap on engineer actions. I kind of want the predictive reasoning because displays potential positive and negative outcomes. It'll help me kind of decide how reckless I want to be. So I think I'll go with that. But at least we have that. We have no more upgrade points. But now, I mean, thankfully we can stay in the container. He didn't kick us out of our makeshift house, at least. Something. Oh, but see, look, the predictive reasoning kicks in. Oh, hold on, hi, bye again. The positive is plus 15 cryo and the neutral is plus 10 cryo. So that gives me very clearly, like, how that goes for me. So we got a good service. We have a stabilizer, we have scrap, we have 100 cryo, so we have enough for another stabilizer, should we so choose. And then Emphis still 15. I don't know that I want to pay 15 right now. I think I can exchange a ship mine fragment now. Oh, no, I can sell components for scrap. Yeah, we can sell that. Let me sell it. Oh, hell yeah. +1 trusted trader. That's definitely me. Definitely trustworthy. Let's see what exploring does. I guess I'll start action, see what happens. Hey, +1 dock watcher. That's fine. Ooh, I could steal dock plans though. I could steal them. I don't know that I don't have any more dice. Okay, we can't steal them. Ooh. Ankhita? Ankhita? Yeah. Hello? Hey you, wanna earn a chit? Ankhita stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her plight. Make it 2. Ankhita laughs. This goddamn station. She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. Alright, come here then. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she angrily lashes massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Or is it that you all think I'm an easy mark? You look the part would be mean. We all need to survive. Ankhita softens. I get it. I do. She shakes her head. But if I could go just one cycle without some jumped-up grifter trying to make me for a fool, then that would be nice. She hoists one of the plating onto her shoulders. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn those shits. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankhita gives you a look. Ships this way. And she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores? Stevedores. Stevedores. Why are you doing this yourself? You mean, why aren't I hiring those good folk? She nods back at the stevedores. I've paid Havenage enough. They are currently rinsing me for a mooring I can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris or sell it off as scrap. Ambergris, I think. Ambergris, is that your ship? You catch on fast. She gives you another of her looks. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on her last job, and I had to moor up here for a spell. Since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mine, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mine with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mine tucked away on that frame of yours? For a moment, you weren't sure if she is serious. Ankhita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off her shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want help? You want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything silly. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris's outer block and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankhita throws you a couple of chits. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here, she calls back, and the lock slams shut. Alright, that's a person we met. That's cool, I guess. Build a ship mine. Okay, so we have access to the ore fabricator. I have a ship mine fragment, but I don't have a ship mined. So that's what the ort exchange is for. We need to get to an ort fabricator. I don't have that yet, so sorry to Ankhita, but I don't got it. We'll see what happens. Okay. Ship shape or grounded. Ambergris is in a delicate condition. It'd be all too easy to push it over into a cascading collapse. Okay, so we don't want to get the grounded one up. That'd be bad. Ambergris doesn't look good, but time and attention to see it return to a functional state. Okay. So we need hull repairs and rewired drones, but we don't have any dice. And I think this is probably a good spot to end on. I'll probably do some rations, actually, because that's only 10. Sorry to Emphis, but I'm broke. And that also is only 2 slots. That should be fine. So I think we'll go ahead and call it here. I'll end this cycle just to save it. But thank you for watching this episode. I think next episode will be really interesting because that's going to be if we get caught or not. We only have like 3 more cycles until whoever's hunting us finds us. And we only have 2 more cycles for Feng's thing to kick in, so hopefully he can actually disable my tracker before whoever's hunting me finds me, because I'm pretty sure whoever's hunting me is also the person who blew up the winter light. Or the winter's light? Either way. That's a little terrifying, so let's see what happens to the sleeper next episode. Tune in on Dragon Ball Z. Until next time.